Hi everyone, this is Karen Smiley. Welcome to 6Ps and AI Pods on Substack. Why AI businesses need neurodiversity inclusion. Why building a neurodiverse team is a good thing for your AI business, and how being more inclusive of neurodivergent people benefits all. Readers, many of you are probably working with or sharing part of your life with a neurodivergent person without knowing it. They may not even know it, especially if they are a woman. Women tend to be underdiagnosed even more often than men, particularly for autism. Data is scarce, in part due to biases and obstacles that impede people from self-identifying or getting diagnoses. However, overall, about 1 in every 5 people is neurodivergent in one or more ways. If you work in AI and software, which is likely since you're reading this 6Ps and AI Pods newsletter, it's even more probable that you have at least one neurodivergent colleague. Neurodivergence is reported to be significantly higher among people who work in AI than in the general population. This post shares insights into why it's a good thing, and how we can all benefit from building more neuro-inclusive environments at home, school, and work. The references include some quick links on what neurodivergence means and what it encompasses. It's much more than autism. In brief, neurodivergence is the idea that some brains function differently than the, quote, typical brain, and that these differences should not necessarily be considered a mental illness. The word for people who aren't neurodivergent is neurotypical. That means their strengths and challenges aren't affected by any kind of difference that changes how their brains work. 3 tips and terms. A person may be neurodivergent, or ND. A person who is not neurodivergent is neurotypical, or NT. Groups of people can be neurodiverse, all ND, or a mix of ND and NT. Neurodivergence relevance to software technology. Neurotribes, The Legacy of Autism and the Future of Neurodiversity, was a 2016 blockbuster. By 2017, neurodiversity was recognized as a potential competitive advantage for any company. Harvard Business Review noted that companies like SAP, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, and Microsoft have reformed their HR processes in order to access neurodiverse talent. They also reported that HPE's neurodiverse testing teams are 30% more productive than the others, and recommended that companies consider increased neurodiversity to gain, quote, the ability to compete on the basis of innovation, unquote. But insights about the connections between neurodiversity and software technology businesses aren't new. Neurotribes author Steven Silberman first wrote about increasing autism rates in Silicon Valley children in a Wired article in 2001. At that time, it was already, quote, a familiar joke in the industry that many of the hardcore programmers in IT strongholds like Intel, Adobe, and Silicon Graphics, coming to work early, leaving late, sucking down big gulps in their cubicles while they code for hours, are residing somewhere in Asperger's domain. What's new-ish is growing awareness of the relevance of neurodiversity to AI businesses. Neurodiversity relevance to AI businesses. AI companies have realized in recent years that neurodivergent people's strengths can align well with their business. As a result, more companies are actively seeking to hire them for AI-related roles. For example, the Wall Street Journal reported in 2019 that neurodivergent employees outperformed in machine learning testing, and companies were actively recruiting neurodivergent people for new machine learning testing roles. Data annotation roles are another example. Bloomberg News reported in 2022 that research indicated that neurodiverse intelligence officers on the autism spectrum exhibit the ability to parse large data sets and identify patterns and trends at rates that far exceed folks who are not autistic and were less prone to cognitive bias. However, whether neurodivergent or neurotypical, people shouldn't be pigeonholed into a small subset of roles, such as machine learning testing or data annotation. Everyone has different strengths, and neurodivergent people can outperform in many critical roles in AI businesses. For example, modeling and data science, where recognizing patterns and understanding quantitative concepts is essential, can allow neurodiverse talent to shine. A recent Big Think article summarizes well why AI and neurodivergence have important synergies that extend to roles across an organization. Here are some key excerpts. The world now sits on the precipice of transformational change driven by the emergence of new technology. Perhaps counterintuitively, as this transformation carves out a very special and complementary place for human neurodivergence, it will serve to powerfully elevate the crucial importance of neurodiversity inclusion as an organizational asset. As we blaze ever faster toward a world inextricably entwined with the incorporation of artificial intelligence, these properties, lateral thinking, intuitive insight, inductive leaps of creativity, and resistance to manipulation or social pressure, will become increasingly important because they represent pathways of thought capable of being complementary to those produced by AI systems, which are inescapably chained to linear progressions of reason. It may well be that the only sustained source of differentiating edge, of tapping into the n+1 axis that extends perpendicularly out of the flatland, lies in building an organizational culture fundamentally committed to the proactive and authentic inclusion of different kinds of minds. The challenge. The benefits of neurodiverse teams are twofold. One, specific skills and strengths that neurodivergent people can bring to a team are invaluable. Two, practicing neuroinclusion can strengthen an organization's culture for everyone. So it should be a no-brainer to build a neuro-inclusive environment, especially in AI-focused workplaces. Whether as leaders or technical contributors, we all want our businesses to stay competitive now and in the brave new future AI world. How can you help to achieve this proactive and authentic inclusion of different kinds of minds? What you can do. The many obstacles to interviewing and hiring for neurodivergent people are well recognized and can be surmounted. This is what SAP, HPE, and the others began doing in the mid-2010s. Achieving neuroinclusion requires thinking and going well beyond the hiring process, though. Here are 4 excellent books that I recommend. No commissions, referrals, or affiliate codes are involved. They will help you understand how neurodivergence impacts colleagues, friends, and family. And they will guide you on how to build neuro-inclusive work, school, and home environments. 1. Maureen Dunn, PhD, The Neurodiversity Edge, the essential guide to embracing autism, ADHD, dyslexia, and other neurological differences for any organization. It's listed by SHRM among the top 12 books to read this summer for 2024. Number 2, Ludmila Preslova, PhD, The Canary Code, a guide to neurodiversity, dignity, and intersectional belonging at work. This was listed among the 2024 top 10 best new management books by Thinkers 50. Number 3, Becca Laurie Hector, Always Bring Your Sunglasses, and Other Stories from a Life of Sensory and Social Invalidation. It's an outstanding, engaging memoir by a woman diagnosed as autistic at age 36. And number 4, Devin Price, PhD, Unmasking Autism, Discovering the New Faces of Neurodiversity. Good luck in building your diverse, inclusive AI business. Have questions? Let us know if we can help.